This market is rather boring, but there's one token that's going up massively, and that's UMA, up more than 50% this month. How sustainable is this rally? Let's dive deep into the blockchain. Let's have a look at the data most people aren't considering to get insights most people don't have. So today we are up by almost 10%. This week we are up more than 50%. And have a look at this. This year we almost doubled, but we already had a pump and dump before. Is this another pump and dump? Let's find out by looking at on-chain data. Let's see who's buying and who's selling here. Is this retail that's accumulating, or is this large wallets, potential whale wallets that manipulate the price just short term? Now, this is not the first video on UMA on this channel. We first covered this when UMA was still at $3.78. Another video followed when we were at $6.88 with the title Sell UMA with Profit. And yes, this would have been a very good idea. And that's because retail was selling massively into that rally. Let's have a look at what retail is doing now. So you can already see from the beginning of this video that this is not a channel selling you the marketing jazz on the website. This is not how we can get an edge in this market. We want to know more than most. Because in the end, that's how the game is played, right? Trading cryptocurrency means transferring money from the not so skilled people to the more skilled people. The people that have the right information tend to make most of the money consistently. So let's look into that on-chain data. Let's have a look at what Etherscan is saying. According to Etherscan, there's almost 22,000 holders. A lot of the supply is held in smart contract wallets, so that's by the team. But we've also got quite some holding by Binance. More on that later. Here's the number of retail investors versus whale investors over time. This comes from a tool that I've developed myself. You can access this in the premium membership. Link is down below, thebitcoinstrader.com. You can plug in any Ethereum token into this tool and look at the same data. And so what we've got over here are very long-term charts. On the left, we've got the number of wallets that hold at least 250 UMA tokens. So at the current price, that's roughly $1,000. That's what I'd consider small retail on Ethereum, because Ethereum has quite some gas fees. In the middle, we've got medium-sized retail. Now that's a 10x in minimum holding, so 2,500 tokens or roughly $10,000. On the right side, we've got the whales. That's the number of wallets that hold at least 25,000 UMA tokens. Now check out how different those charts look. The number of whales did not grow since the beginning of 2021. We are at a very similar level after the crash in February of last year. The number of retail wallets, though, has roughly doubled during that time. This is a behavior we can see very often. Most of the time, retail simply just buys and forgets, but the whales, they tend to be the ones that time the market actively. They tend to be the ones that take profit quicker. Now let's check out what happened in the last month, where the price went up by 50%. Do we see how the number of whale wallets is increasing? Do we see how the number of retail wallets is increasing? What's generating this recent price rally? Here are the same charts we looked at before, but only for the last month. The number of retail investors actually went down slightly. The number of medium-sized retail also went slightly down. Same for the number of whale wallets. So what's going on here? The investor base isn't growing, but the price is going up by 50%. What that tells me is that somehow this is purchases by a few very large players. Maybe even just by one single large player. Maybe even by the centralized exchanges. Remember that Binance wallet over here. This is the balance on that wallet. It goes up and down, but recently we saw a push up again. And that was just 2 days ago on the 11th of May. So that was over here before the price pumped again 2 more times. Let's have a look at where the trading volume is at. No surprise here. Most trading volume happens on Binance, 28%. That's on the spot market. But here's something even more important. On the perpetual futures market, so on the derivatives market, on the place where people bet using levered products, we have seen more than 500% of the market cap being traded in volume. So that's $855 million worth of UMA. So what's happening here is that Binance holds a lot of the liquid supply, can move the price up and down. And at the same time, Binance also offers bets on the price. So that's like you betting on the outcome of a football match, and Binance still has bought the referee, so they can decide how the game will end. I believe that the UMA token is likely going to depress at some point again. I believe we are again in to see yet another pump and dump as in the past. But the problem is always when enough people bet on falling prices that then Binance can again temporarily artificially push up the price, generating a lot of liquidation fees for them. Once a trade on falling prices gets too popular, then short squeezes happen. And so it's very tricky to time this. I do believe that the price will go down, but it could, before that, still pump another time, simply if enough people bet on falling prices. So one way to potentially play this is with dollar cost averaging into the short position. So instead of the regular dollar cost averaging, where you buy in several times, say in Bitcoin, and you bet that the price goes up after a while, we can do the same thing, but the opposite for shorting. We can add to our short position as the price goes up, because at some point the price is likely going to go back to its equilibrium, which is likely lower to where it's currently. Make sure, of course, to have proper risk management in place, right? You don't want to bet all of your wealth on this, but I do believe that this is an artificial rally. Otherwise, we would be seeing way more interest by the people on chain. We would see accumulation on chain, which we don't. If it's your first time here, feel free to subscribe. I publish videos regularly, as the first video on Yuma, where we then doubled, and then the second video where we saw the dip. I will continue making updates on Yuma. I will revisit this as we potentially deflate in the price. If you want to help this channel grow, then feel free to give this a like as well. Again, access to this tool is available in premium. Link is down below, thebitcoinstrategy.com. And if you've got Telegram, feel free to join us. It's free. Link is as well down below.